Hi everyone, this is Mary Elizabeth Bowden and I'm the Associate Trumpet Professor at Shenandoah Conservatory. And today I'm going to share a few practice tools for the All-Virginia Trumpet Etude. This is from the Arban's book from number 4 from the Characteristic Studies. The most important thing is to practice very slowly, just to make sure you can really hear the notes. So don't start too fast, don't start at the written tempo. Just take something very slow and easy. So you're just making a nice, healthy tone and also making sure that you're mindful of all of the articulations. And just play it like this a lot until it feels comfortable. And mark in where that starting tempo is, and then you can gradually speed it up from there. The next practice tool you can use on some measures that are giving you some trouble are isolating the patterns, different patterns, which I've shown before in other videos, but I'll share it with you today. So I'm going to be looking at the third line, second measure. And so the first step is putting a fermata on the first of every 4. And you would keep the articulations exactly where they are. And then you would hold the second note of every 4. Then you would hold the third note. And also keep the articulations still where they're marked in the music. And then we'll do the fourth note. And then I'm going to do long, short, long, short, long, but very, very connected. And then short, long, short, long. So any measure that's kind of tripping you up, you know, with the fingerings, make sure that you do some pattern practice on that. That'll be a game changer for sure, rather than just trying to run it and messing it up every time. That's something that is super helpful. Now, the second to last line on the slurs, the way that I would practice them first is tongue them first so you can get the intervals in your ear. You want to be able to do that first, and then you can try to add the slurs in. That's a little easier. You can double dot these. And then flip it and do buddy, duddy, buddy. You know, just make a game out of it. You know, don't just practice it the way it's written. I'd also slur it on the mouthpiece. And also stay really relaxed and listen to the connection between the notes as opposed to trying to push out the slurs. Just try to make it as smooth and easy as possible, even though it looks a little stressful. But that's my advice for this etude. I have one more practice tool that I'll share with you, which is putting the metronome on the offbeats. So this is one of my favorite practice tools, and so I'll demonstrate that real quick. We're gonna do a little bit slower at 60, so start at a tempo where you can really process the offbeats. So if we start at 60, and so you would start by saying and with the metronome, and 1, 2, 1, 2. And that really helps the tempo feel like it's in the groove, in the pocket. And it's a fun exercise that I have all of my students do, and it just really helps tighten up the rhythm. And also just be mindful of articulations. These accents, you know, don't make such a huge deal out of them. They're just supposed to be like, just make sure that the notes are like right in the center and very clear. because it would be out of style if you punch these out like really loud. It would sound really strange. So musically, keep them within the music, but just make sure that they're very, very clear when you articulate them. You can do a lot of the hairpin that's marked. When it gets to the pianissimo, you know, make sure you don't play as soft as you can't. Just, you know, I would just say play comfortably, but with a darker color of sound. Otherwise, it might be hard to produce the notes. You just want to make a good sound in this audition, and you know, make some music. It's only 1 minute long, so just see what you can do to make it as interesting and as fun as possible. So have fun.